Okay, a'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And a very good day to everybody. So this is the recording for our next chapter or topic. So I'm referring to chapter 14 in Lucas textbook, okay, the art of public speaking. And this is our ninth topic, okay, for this particular subject, AAD3193, public speaking. So I do believe that this will be the second last lecture or the second last topic, whereby you will have your last topic of persuasion in public speaking. So I hope that this particular topic, inshallah, using visual aids, will give you some enlightenments on how you want to persuade others, okay, in your speech. Because when we are using some visual aids or any other kind of aids, it's actually help and assist in terms of getting the attention, getting the persuasion, getting the acknowledgement, getting the comprehension from our viewers or from our audience. Okay, basically, Tone Stockwell once said that to learn anything fast and effectively, you have to see it, hear it, and feel it. Alright, these are some of the objectives of our topic today. Alright, number one, at the end of the lecture, I do hope that everybody could explain the major advantages of using visual aids in a speech. Number two, right after you have go through this particular topic, inshallah, you will be capable to identify the kinds of visual aids which available for use in speeches. And number three, inshallah, you should have the capability of applying the guidelines given in the chapter for preparing and presenting visual aids. Alright, there are a lot of types of presentational aids. Okay, if you are looking into the era of 1980s, 1970s, we might play with maybe cassettes, video cassettes, film, and so on. But in the era of digital, in the era of IR4, Industrial Revolution 4, this might be all of these things might have been digitalized. We can simply filming things, recording things without using any cassettes, physical video cassettes, and so on. So all these types of presentational aids could be an assistant, but somehow or other it could be a burden. Okay, so as a public speaker, we need to know which kind of presentational aids that could help us to engage ourselves with the audience. Alright, so a presentational aid is any visual or audiovisual or other sensory material used by the speaker in a speech. Okay, it doesn't mean that we are having only visual aids when we want to deliver our speech. No, we can have visual, we can have audio or audiovisual or any other sensory material which is not in visual or audiovisual type, okay, that we can use in our speech. Presentational aids offer many benefits. They allow us to adapt to an audience's level of knowledge by clarifying and dramatizing our verbal message. So they also help audiences retain and make it remain the information they had heard, okay, in our speech. In addition, presentational aids allow us to address the diverse learning styles of our audience. We need to know that we have different kind of demographic background of the audiences. Alright, so it means that the capability of them to adapt to the contents of our speech might be enhanced, okay, by having several kind of presentational aids which help the audience themselves to understand us better. Using presentational aids may help us to feel more competent, to feel more ready. We have the high capability of showing the contents of our speech better, alright, when we are having presentational aids. So speakers report that when they use presentational aids, they tend to be less anxious and have more confidence compared to standing in front of the audience without having any presentational aids. So according to scholars, there are 4 types of presentational aids. Number 1 is visual aids, followed by audio aids, and then we have audio visual aids and also sensory aids. Okay, these are not been mentioned in Lucas textbook, but I got it from somewhere else, and I hope that you can go through. You can Google what are the differences between all these 4 types of presentational aids. Alright, this is an example, okay, of how a teacher, here we do believe that the presenter here is a teacher. So how the teacher use several kind of several kind of aids, presentation aids, to assist her or him in delivering her contents of knowledge. Okay, macam ni kita ada mungkin this is the environment of a class in a school. So there are a lot of aids here. So we can look here. We have some audio visual or visual. Okay, maybe sensory aids. We don't know. Okay, so there are a lot of aids that we can use, not for all types of audiences, but we try to capture most of the audiences adaptation towards our contents. Alright, okay, so these are some of the advantages of visual aids. Visual aids offer a speaker several advantages. Visual aids enhance a speaker's credibility, for sure. If you stand in front of your audience and you have your PowerPoint, let's say, or you have your maybe you bring in some model. Okay, you try to capture the attentions of the audience by having a model of something, or you bring the real object. Okay, or you try to capture your audience early attention by having some maybe audio kind of aids. Okay, you play some music or you play some sounds. Alright, so that might be a kind of things that enhance the credibility of the speaker. All of us as the speakers. And then visual aids can improve a speaker's persuasiveness. Okay, we have a better capacity or a better chance to persuade the audience by having our visual aids. Alright, and then visual aids can help a speaker to combat stage fright. Okay, it means that maybe we stuck somewhere in our speech. We can easily go to our visual aids. We can easily go to our presentation aids to assist us to pull out the stage fright. Okay, and then visual aids can increase the interest of a speaker's information, for sure. If you are having our speech and then it is actually assisted, okay, by several visual aids, so it will help us to increase the interest of the audience towards our information. So for instance, here I have 2 types of photos or pictures. So what to show on a visual aids can be feeling, can be emotion, can be experience. So which of these shows a hot environment of a beach? For sure, with the red, yellow color of beach on our left side, isn't it? On the left side. What about the cool kind of beach? For sure, the blue one. Because these 2 types of colors, okay, helps us to show emotions, to pick up some experience of the audience, to differentiate between hot and cool kind of beaches. Right, so these are the things that we want to show on visual aids. So when we talk about kinds of visual aids, okay, there are a lot of forms. There are a lot of categories. Okay, according to Lucas, there are several of them. All right. So we go one by one. Okay, number one, objects and models. Objects, the real thing. The real thing. Maybe you want to talk about a frog. The life of a frog, for instance. So you bring the real object, the frog. Or if you geli sangat nak bawa frog tu masuk dalam kelas, alright, you might want to use models. So models can replace the real object. Macam tu lah. So objects and models can work extremely well as visual aids because you bring the real one or the imitation to the real one, to the real object. And then photographs and drawings can also be of great advantage to a speaker because photograph can reflect two-dimensional or three-dimensional real object. Okay, the reflection of the real object by two-dimension or three-dimension drawing or photograph. Okay, and then as a speaker, we also use graphs. Graphs are a good way to clarify and simplify statistics when we play around with figures, with numbers, with frequencies. So graphs are a very good way of clarifying and simplifying those numbers, those statistics of frequencies and so on. So for example, here in Lucas, line graphs are best for illustrating statistical trends. I will show it to you later. Okay, and then we have what we call as pie graphs. Pie chart or pie graphs are well suited for demonstrating distribution pattern. Okay, so if you are looking into line, so it shows the statistical trend. For instance, COVID-19, we want to look into the trend monthly or daily or weekly. So line, yang baris tu kan, are best to illustrate this kind of differences, weekly, monthly or daily. While pie graphs are well suited for demonstrating distribution. For example, the percentages of races in Malaysia. We have the majority Malay, maybe 60%, and then Chinese, 35%, and then Indian, and then all the other Bumiputra and non-Malaysian. So those are the distribution of races. It is so suitable to use pie graphs. Okay, and then we have bar graphs. Bar graphs are effective for showing comparisons between two or more items. For instance, how many male customers entering McDonald's today, okay, in nilai. And then we have how many female customers entering McDonald's nilai today. So we have the comparison there. So it is suitable for us to use bar graph. Okay, let us look into the examples later. Okay, these are some of the examples of object and model. So this can be on the left side we call it as didgeridoo, a native kind of music instrument in Australia. We call it as didgeridoo. So maybe if we have the real didgeridoo, the real object, we can bring in the class, okay, to show that this is the didgeridoo. So the audience might have the capability or the chance to see the real object of didgeridoo. And then if you want to talk about KLCC, how can we bring the object or the real building of KLCC into the class? So it is impossible. So we bring in the model that replicate or imitate the construction of KLCC. Alright, so these are the examples of object and model. And then talking about photos and drawing, okay, we use photo and drawings to enlarge for audience. But take a good care of some tips by Lucas and any other authors that we need to avoid passing the photos and drawings, okay, because it will distract the attention of the audience towards us while we are delivering our speech, because they are keen to look into the photos rather than looking into us and what we want to deliver to them. Alright, photos and drawing can be displayed with presentational presentation technology, such as Adobe Photoshop, or or any other apps in the computer, and so on. So this is an example of photos and drawings. Okay, this is what a person with dyslexia might see when reading this sentence. This is a kind of photo that shows the reflection of how a person with dyslexia problem read this kind of thing lah, this kind of words or sentence, right? So this is also an example of photo. Okay, so ini gambar apa? Ini bacteria lah, the photo of bacteria. We try to show the differences of bacteria in terms of sizes, in terms of maybe colors or effects and so on by having such photos lah. So this is an example of drawing. Okay, so a teacher, when he or she tries to deliver her contents of the human body to the children, okay, in his or her school, so he or she draws this lah. Okay, we have hair, we have eyes, ear, fingers, chest, toes, and so on. Okay, so this is the example of drawing. Okay, photos. It is hard for us to bring the real model, so we bring the photo of Kaabah like this, okay, to show the environment, to show the situation in Masjidil Haram, okay, to our audience. Kita tengok Kaabah ni. Okay, we can enlarge a photo. Okay, maybe we can zoom out again, okay, so that the audience will get the idea of things that we want to deliver by sharing these visual aids of photo. Okay, so this is the photo of the earth, and we want to show how the physical of the earth, so we bring the photo of the earth. Okay, these are some of the examples only. Alright, okay, this is about line graph. Okay, as what I told you just now. Okay, we use line graph. We uses one or more lines to show changes over time. Macam ni lah. So maybe grocery spending and restaurant spending. Okay, dia bersilang di situ. Okay, so we can show some trends over there. We can show some changes over there when we are having line graph. Pie graph. Okay, we want to highlight segments of circle to show distribution patterns. Okay, contoh macam ni, woman in the workforce, wanita di alam pekerjaan in 1900 year, in the year 1900, okay, single 68%, okay, married only 40%. Maksudnya when one got married, so they will leave the workplace in the year of 1900. But in the year of 2018, 50% of the workers, women workers at the workplace got married already. Okay, and then this is also a kind of what we call as pie graph. Okay, so we use pie graph to show changes, to show distribution in HIV transmission in Malaysia. Okay, we can have the data from 1990 to 2010 to 2018, and you can read all the explanation there based on the colors that they put in. So this is the example of using pie graph, okay, to show the distribution lah. Okay, like what Lucas told us in the textbook. And then this is the example of bar graph. Okay, bar graph uses vertical or horizontal bars in showing comparison as well. Kan? Contohnya macam ni lah. Bar graph example. Okay, we have the title there. Students who go to the school by bus. Okay, maybe bilangan pelajar, the frequency of the students around what? 17 or 18 over there. The red one. Okay, ini. And then the yellow one. Okay, they walk to the school. Okay, maybe there are around 8 or 9 of them there. Okay, and then the green, the blue, and also by motorcycle, the least one lah, the purple one, the least one. So they go to the school by motorcycle, around 4 of them. So this is what we call as bar graph, that shows differences, okay, in terms of categories. Okay, now let us move on to the other kind of visual aids, okay, charts. So charts are a good choice when a speaker needs to summarize large blocks of information. So charts helps assist us in guiding the audience so that they are not drawn into a lot of information. Okay, dia tak akan lemas, tenggelam dalam information yang banyak. So we assist them by having what we call as chart. And then video. Video can be extremely effective as a visual aid. You can find millions of videos in YouTube which you can use in your speech lah. So video perceived by Lucas and friends as an extremely effective visual aid lah. And then sometimes as a public speaker we can use our own body as a visual aid. Ui, macam mana tu? Gunakan badan kita sebagai visual aid. Okay, we will look into this later lah. And then presentation technology allows a speaker to combine charts, graph, photographs and video in the same talk. There you go. Ini namanya multi-dimensional or multi visual aids that we use simultaneously in a speech. Okay, so this is what we call as having this presentational technology to accumulate all of this combination of charts, graph, photograph, video and so on in our speech session. And then when used properly, presentation technology can be highly effective. And then speakers need a clear idea of exactly why, how and when they will use presentation technology in his or her speech. Okay, we go one by one. Charts. So charts summarize large block of information, usually as list lah. So charts, as what I told you just now, assist listeners visualize information. They can imagine the information by having a look into chart. And then charts help in terms of showing steps of process, and we keep it simple and clear. For example, this one. We want to show the hierarchy. We want to show the power, the authority, the level of authority of people in an organization. So we have an example of chart here. We call it as organization chart of a company lah. So we have Thomas Edison there, okay, as the big boss lah, marketing director. Maybe Thomas Edison has several other bigger manager up at the upper level lah. Okay, but this is the chart of marketing lah mungkin. So Thomas Edison as the marketing director. And then under Thomas Edison, there are Marie Curie, Blaise Pascal and Isaac Newton. So they are the managers. And then under each of the managers, they have all the other workers there lah, the operational workers. Will Thomson, Carl Gauss under Marie Curie, and then James Watt under Blaise Pascal here. And then we have Maxwell Clark and Paul Dirac under Isaac Newton. And the other employees under each of the manager over there. So this is a very good kind of information shown by a simple single chart of organization chart of the corporation. And then video. To make it impactful. Okay, we need to make sure that the video we have in our presentation to be short. If it is too long, it means that we are not having our speech, but it is a session of video presentation only. So we must keep it short. And then we need to cue the audience to start off the clip, the video. Let's say we want to show a video, so we must give an explanation first, or a cue. We are telling them, okay, please get ready to listen to this video because it is important for you to listen and don't miss any important parts there. That's what we call as cue, to start off clip. And then we integrate smoothly between video and maybe any other videos, or between the videos with our commentary lah, or with our contents of speech. So we must integrate it smoothly. And if it is okay, if you have maybe good kind of maybe camera and so on, so we avoid low resolution lah, because low resolution will make the audience feel dissatisfied lah, sebab dia nampak the quality of the video is not up to the standard, so dia tak fokus sangat, so they cannot look into maybe the discrete things in the video. Okay, so avoid low resolution if you can. Okay, ini dia. The speaker himself as the object or as the visual aids, kan? So we, as the public speaker, we can use body to demonstrate procedure. We practice to coordinate words and action. So how to use our body to demonstrate procedure. Okay, maybe we use our hands, gesture, kan? We nod our heads. Okay, maybe we not up to the action of maybe berjoget ke, okay, dancing ke, no, but we are having our body optimally, okay, to demonstrate some procedure lah. Okay. So we move on to visual aids advantages. Okay, you can read by yourself later, but the advantages, simply say the advantages of visual aids can be helping the clarity. Okay, the clarity of our presentation. It will help the audience to understand better when we are having visual aids. And then we can create interest among the audience towards our presentation. It is so dull, orang kata lah, dull, macam boring. Okay, if you are not having any visual aids, by standing in front of the audience and talk, and then we can keep up the retention of the attention of the audience lah. We can make the retention or focus span of the audience can be longer. We can create credibility for us as the public speaker, and we can create what we call as the persuasiveness capability. The capability of persuading the audience to understand, and then to maybe to follow, okay, and then to change their behaviors maybe right after our speech. So there are 7 basic guidelines, okay, to follow when creating visual aids. I hope that you can read this by yourself. Alright, simple. Okay, so please read by yourself, please. Okay, these 7 basic guidelines when creating visual aids. So in addition to preparing visual aids effectively, speakers should follow 7 guidelines when presenting visual aids during a speech. Okay, so this is an additional information for the 7, the previous 7 lah. Yang ni. So, yang ini ada lagi 7. Please read this by yourselves as well. Senang aja. Okay. So, without further ado, I think that's all. I hope that you understand. And if you have any problem, please contact me directly, okay, through WhatsApp or through our group WhatsApp. So, there is one homework that you need to do, okay. Those who listen to this video only will know what you need to do for this particular topic, okay. So this is a kind of quiz lah, okay. I hope that you can submit it to me, okay, through goals. I will open a platform. So these are the questions for this particular topic, okay. So I hope that you can answer these 2 or 3 questions, alright, and then submit it through goals, the platform which I will open it right after this class today. Okay, ready, in page 267 of Lucas textbook, there are 3 questions there. The first 3 questions in review questions. So I read the questions one by one. So please provide me the answers for each of the questions. Question number 1, number 2, and number 3. Ready? Question number 1. You need to answer straightforward. Tak payah nak goreng-goreng dan sebagainya. Alright, ready? Question number 1. What are the major advantages of using visual aids in your speeches? What are the major advantages of using visual aids in your speeches? Question number 2. What kinds of visual aids might you use in a speech? What kinds of visual aids might you use in a speech? And question number 3. Apart from visual aids, what are the other 3 types of presentational aids? Question number 3. Apart from visual aids, what are the other 3 types of presentational aids? So please submit your answers to these questions timely, because I will open it after this and I will maybe close it on Friday. Okay, Friday 31st. Okay, so please take a good care of the submission through Ghost, and I will open the platform now. Alright, don't forget to write your name, your metric numbers, your tutorial group. Until then, thank you very much. I'm so sorry for any mistakes or any wrong information that I shared with you just now. I hope that you will be benefited from this particular lecture. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.